Good afternoon and welcome inside the Lumpkin Center. It's a Saturday afternoon here in Columbus, Georgia. An early tip-off. Cougar basketball back in action, and we welcome all of those joining us here on Cougar Sports TV. The Columbus State University Cougars at 4-2 this season, rolling into a non-conference matchup against Albany State at 4-6. And this is a big one here for the Cougars. One of their final non-conference games. They've got Albany State and then Tuskegee, and they'll be in conference action coming up in a couple weeks on December 18th. But until then, some big games here for the Cougars. They're looking to go 2-0 against both Albany State and Tuskegee as they try to improve to 6-2 with 2 wins before conference play starts. I'm Corey Aldis here on Cougar Sports TV. It's a championship Saturday. That's right. Some college football happening in just a little bit, which means that's why we got the early tip here. You can come out to the Lumpkin Center, watch some ball, and then get home in time for all of those SEC fans here in the Columbus, Georgia area. I'm sure they're ecstatic about the early tip, as we all are. A new tip. Hopefully it's not a sleepy start for the Cougars. They got off to a great start against Albany State on the road when these two teams squared off earlier this season. That was back on November 15th, and they're looking to do the same here this afternoon. Underway inside the Lumpkin Center. Normal starting 5 out there for the Cougars. BG up top alongside Zay Horton and Stanley Taylor, with Anthony Moore and Cam Paulding down low. Cougars milking the shot clock to start this early possession. Tay is going to take a mid-range jumper that hits nothing. It's deflected out and will stay with CSU. The Cougars winners of 2 in a row after that unexpected loss against Xavier, Louisiana, that 2-point loss here inside the Lumpkin Center. They've rolled off back-to-back wins since then. Cougars are going to have to hoist it with only 2 on the shot clock. BG, no foul was called. And a shot clock violation is how the Cougars will start their Saturday afternoon. On the flip side for Albany State, Camille Brown, Joshua Jerome, and Mario Young, those are the 4 guards for the Golden Rams. And then Randy McClure and Napoleon Harris patrolling down low. There's a dip down low to McClure, and boy, he's one of the best scorers out there in the SIAC, and the Cougars are going to have their hands full with the senior from Paulding, Georgia. Guy that comes into this one averaging just under 15 points a game. And by the way, McClure, one of the best shooters out there, not just in the SIAC, but across the entire nation. He's ranked 17th in the nation in field goal percentage, lighting up his opponents to a tune of 65% from the field. Another dump down off the knee of Brown. It's going to be a turnover for Albany State. This is a senior-loaded lineup for Albany State. 4 seniors in the starting lineup. The only non-senior, a redshirt freshman in Jerome. Other than that, a lot of experience out there for Albany State. The problem is they don't have a lot of depth, and that's the issue that they'll run into, and something that some of these teams, like the Cougars, can start to expose them on if they get out and start their run and gun action out there. BG way off the mark again on that attempted 3, and it's going to go long rebound to the redshirt freshman, Jerome. He's no good as Zay Horton tips it to himself. Only 10 players on this roster for Albany State. And right now, there's only 8 that are dressed here this afternoon. Or excuse me, 9 that are dressed here this afternoon for Albany State. So again, depth an issue for the Golden Rams, and that's why you'll see guys like McClure and Brown and Young not only starting all 10 games for Albany State, but they play most of the game as well. McClure leads the nation in minutes. How about that? This guy that stays out there almost the entire 40 for the Golden Rams. Paulding down low, pump fake, gets his defender in the air, can't finish. Up top, Zay Horton, his first 3 ball goes down the hatch. Cougars a little sloppy on the shooting to start, but Horton gets one from the top of the key. Zay Horton off to a torrid start for the Cougars. Is he shooting over 50% from the field? The third team All Peach Belt Conference selection from last season. Remember, he led the league in rebounds last year, had 12 double-doubles, put up 16 points a game, and he's improving this year. 19 points and 8 boards a game. When these two teams met earlier this season, it was all about the glass as the Cougars dominated Albany State down low on the rebounds, out-rebounding them 37-26. It was Cam Paulding who had that monster game. Actually, his best game of his career, a career highs for Cam Paulding. 12 points and 14 boards. So here's Zay Horton with it out top. Gonna drive, floats it up and in, count it, and the foul. Kind of just glided in the air there. As Horton will go to the line and have a chance to try to complete the three-point play. Zay Horton, an 82% free throw shooter this season, gets that one to go down. Eight to 2, the early lead here for CSU. And now they'll start to full court press the Golden Rams and speed the play up just a bit. The alley-oop, though, off the press break as the Golden Rams play that one perfectly. Couldn't have done it any better there. Taylor down low right now. Take a fadeaway jumper and hits the bottom of the net. Taylor with an early 4 for CSU. Up top with it, it's Jerome. Over to High, who's checked into the game. Picked up by Horton, tough mid-range. Barely hit the backboard there, and here comes CSU. A leak out up ahead. BG finds Zay Horton, his second three ball. Yes, sir. Zay Horton and the Cougars. No sleepy start here for CSU. They're off and rolling. 13-4, the early lead here on Cougar Sports TV.
Choosing the right college can be a challenge. Does it offer degrees suited to your career goals? Are emerging fields of study more your interest, like cybersecurity, gaming, or environmental science? What about extracurricular activities, such as campus life, study abroad, or honors? Are scholarships and financial assistance available? Columbus State University has always been one of the most affordable colleges in Georgia. Now it's also one of the fastest growing. When you ask the right questions, you'll find out why CSU should be.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% would go pro.
That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
That's the start you like to see if you're a Cougar fan. Couple of three balls. Taylor hitting some mid-range jumpers, and they've jumped out to the early 9-point advantage over Albany State. Albany State comes into this game having already picked up a conference win, 4-6 on the season. They are coming off a nice win, though, against Georgia Southwestern, whom, by the way, is the team that's leading the way in the Peach Belt Conference. I know we haven't played any conference games in the PBC yet, but Georgia Southwestern was undefeated at the time when these two teams squared off just a couple of days ago. That was down at Albany State. So Golden Rams came away with a win against Georgia Southwestern, a 72-66 win against the Canes. So that was the first loss of the season for Georgia Southwestern. Down low, Zay Horton. Can't get it to go, just around the rim. Defended there by Taylor. He thought he got a jump ball, maybe a little bit of a wrist there as the foul will be called. It's going to send Brown to the free throw line. Brown is a 57% free throw shooter. Gets the roll on that one. Is that a good season for Albany State? He's already scored in double figures 6 times this year for the Golden Rams. And in fact, he's kind of been on a little bit of a tear as of late. Put up double digits in 4 of the last 5. Gets both free throws to go down. And they'll bring Victor Robinson into the game, the freshman from Deerfield Beach, Florida. So Albany State starting to rotate some of their players. Again, just 9 dressed out here for Albany State in this one. Cam Paulding with it. Back up top. Look at the ball movement here by CSU. Taylor gets an open look and splashes it home. Not afraid to shy away from any words of encouragement as he walks down the court. Nice crossover there by High, trying to get around Givens. Down low, the positioning is there, but a walk. Just took that extra step. Didn't need to happen there if you're McClure. He had the positioning and a chance to go right around his right shoulder. As Moore is just going to throw it into the stands. And this is something that the Cougars have struggled with a bit as of late and have been looking to clean up some of the careless turnovers. You actually saw it against this Albany State team earlier this season when the Cougars had 20 turnovers themselves. That's what allowed Albany State to get back into the game after the Cougars had built that double-digit lead. In comes Hunter Preston for the first time today. Out goes Cam Paulding. Preston, the junior transfer from Sneed State Community College. Was a double-double machine down there. He actually had his best game just the other night for the Cougars as Zay Horton gets another open look in the corner. Another 3 for Horton. Going back to Preston, his best game in that win against West Georgia the other night when he put up 6 points and 4 boards off the bench. The dump down low, it's Harris. Harris working on Preston. Lost the ball. Zay Horton trying to pick it up, and he does. Up ahead, Anthony Moore driving in, and a late foul. Oh, they're going to call a charge. Coach Moore can't believe it. I don't know how Anthony Moore even got that shot up and in. The offensive foul is going to be called on the Cougars. Take it off the board. So 19-6, CSU in front with 13.5 minutes left here in this first half. Cougar defense has been getting after it, and it's something that has been much improved this season compared to the past couple of years. Burns, the dump down. We're going to get back-to-back charges. Burns is the one who picks up his second foul. As Taylor will check out, and we'll get our first look at Devin Porter Wilson in this one. The bloodlines go long with the talent that comes up from Chattahoochee Valley's Community College. Devin Porter Wilson, one of the latest ones to come up from CVCC. In the corner, a 3-ball off the mark, no good. Not really a Hunter Preston shot there. Like to see him take that one and drive it inside. Oh, backdoor cut right there, and hanging in the air and getting it to go down. What a move by the senior Mario Young. DP picks up the foul, having checked into the game. Mario Young. Guy right now this season who's averaging just shy of 10 points. Gets that one to go down to complete the 3-point play. Robert Davis Jr. driving in, got it poked away, gets it back and puts it up off the glass. The Cougar offense has really come to play here this afternoon, shooting 53% from the field right now and 4 of 7 from deep. And now almost a turnover there. It is going to be poked away. Robert Davis Jr. all alone lays it in. Not sure if he thought about slamming that one home or not. Back-to-back buckets, though, for the junior transfer. Came to CSU from East Mississippi Community College. He was the guy that lit up the scoreboard over there. Shot 46% from deep, average almost 13 points a game. Givens with the ball and a 14-point Cougar lead. Dancing, tries to split two and has it ripped right away. What a defense there by Young, and then he goes behind the back. Mario Young flashing some highlights in this one. He's got the and one and then a steal and dish. The easy jam. Horton with it up top. He's had the hot hand already with 12 early points. And a turnover there again for CSU. That's going to be their 5th turnover of the first half. 23-11. It's going to take us to a timeout break here inside the Lumpkin Center.
A smile is the best thing you can wear. At Cook Dental Care, we have a smile for you. We believe in creating a dental experience for each patient that demonstrates kindness, professionalism, and knowledgeable service.
También tenemos un equipo bilingüe listo para ayudarle y cuidarle.
Insurance, financing, walk-ins, and new patients are always welcome.
Good morning.
Hi.
How you doing today?
For your family's dental care, visit us at cookdentalcare.com or call 706-689-2905. Again, that number is 706-689-2905. I am Dr. Kathy Cook, and I'm the official dentist of CSU Athletics. At Cook Dental Care, we provide dental dentistry for the entire family.
Dr. Cook,
Yes.
you have a patient in room 3.
Okay, thank you.
(23-11). That's the scoreline here inside the Lumpkin Center on this Saturday afternoon non-conference game as the Cougars are looking to sweep the season series against Albany State. Chris Horton has checked into the game for the first time, so the 5 out there, it's Horton, Chris Horton that is, Robert Davis Jr., Devin Porter Wilson alongside Landrius Horton and Hunter Preston. Young's had a nice couple of plays with it right now on the skip pass into the corner. That's high for 3, no good. We'll see who they decide to bring the ball up the court. It's going to be Robert Davis Jr. for CSU. And he gets right around his defender over to Horton. Right now, Albany State has really kind of packed the paint Trying to force Cougars to drive and to kick it out, but those kickouts have been killing the Golden Rams so far, and Zay Horton makes them pay again. That's a deep two that time with a foot on the line. Well, you can see the difference when these two teams first met earlier this season, with the Cougars dominating down low and controlling the paint. Right now, Albany State is trying to do everything they can to avoid letting that happen, but because of that, it's been opening things up outside for CSU, and Cougars have been making them pay. And another turnover, this one taken away by Zay Horton. Horton to Horton as he corrals it in the air and is fouled. Young picking up the foul. The inbound. And a jump ball will be called. When these two teams met back on November 15th, there were 4 different scorers for the Cougars that reached double figures. I mentioned the big game that Cam Paulding had. Givens also dropped 15 in that one, and Zay Horton barely put up any shots. He only had 8 shot attempts, although he hit 3 from distance. 13 points in that game for Zay Horton, and right now he's already surpassed that. He's got 14 on the afternoon. Only 10 and a half minutes into this one. Cougars are 5 of their last 6 from the field. And right now the Golden Rams, they've been scoreless for the past 2 minutes. And with that foul, the Cougars now are going to be in the bonus for the rest of the half. So they'll have a chance to try to tack on some freebies at the line if they can be the aggressors and work their way to the free throw line. How about this for CSU? They have 25 points and a 14-point lead with Robert Davis Jr. getting an and one opportunity. They've only had 3 players score. Columbus State right now only has 3 players in the scorebook. 14 for Horton, 7 for Stanley Taylor, and 6 for Robert Davis Jr. All 27 of their points have come from 3 different players. Quite the stat there for CSU as Davis Jr. gets the free throw to go down, so he's got 7. 7 apiece for Taylor and Davis Jr. and 14 for Horton. And a 17-point advantage, largest of the afternoon.
Cougars foul number 2 is on Robert Davis, his second. The team with 6 fouls.
Cougar is going to do a line change here. We've got a 5 in, 5 out for CSU. So in comes Givens alongside Carl Ivey, who's checked in for the first time. And then Anthony Moore, Stanley Taylor, and Cam Paulding down low. Moore picking up Young right now. The switch over to Taylor. Up top, McClure swings that one around. Not really a great three-point shooter is McClure. But a nice drive there from Jerome, getting inside the paint. He had a career high in their last game when he put up 19 points against Georgia Southwestern. He was 6 of 9 from the field and 4 of 7 from distance. Really got hot from deep as Taylor can't get that one to go down. So 4 different players have scored for Albany State in this one, compared to just 3 for CSU, but they trail by 15. It's not really a stat that you can ever hear happening that often. Right now, the Cougars need someone else to get on the score sheet because the only one in there right now is Stanley Taylor that scored for them. Anthony Moore has it up top with Jerome defending. 8 minutes left here in this first half. Here's Givens. Driving in at the elbow. Stanley Taylor. Well, may as well just keep the three that have scored rolling. I guess maybe you don't need someone else to score if you're the Cougars. Taylor now with 9. Here's Young. Can't get the friendly bounce, but right there and missing the putback was Harris. Had an easy lay-in. Instead, back to the free throw line go the Golden Rams. Had a chance there to put that one home, and it just rolled right out on him. 0-3 now from the field is Harris. Under 8 media timeout, 30-13. It's the largest lead of the afternoon. CSU on top.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Don't you worry, my child. Everything's gonna be just fine. Little darling, you keep on walking, 'cause I ain't never gonna leave your side.
As kids fall in love with sports, our universities are working every day to keep college sports safe, so you can watch them play with a little less worry and a little more joy.
(30-13) is our scoreline here on Cougar Sports TV. I'm Corey Aldis for this non-conference game between the Cougars and the Golden Rams. CSU won't be back at home until December 21st. So you got some time off from the Lumpkin Center for this men's basketball squad. Next home game not for 2 full weeks. They won't be back here until 2 Saturdays from now, when they'll take on conference opponent Lander. That's going to be a doubleheader. The men's and women's teams will be in action here inside the Lumpkin Center before they take off for their winter breaks. Cannot wait for conference action to get rolling. The Peach Belt Conference, always a conference that stacked full of talent. One that's up for grabs, and really this should be one that, especially this season, that is really going to be up for grabs. With all the talent that the Peach Belt Conference has up and down the conference lineup. And they're going to make a substitution with Titus Burns coming in to take a free throw as they're trying to wipe some blood up off the floor. As Mario Young has a cut underneath his chin. I think we got one of our assistant athletic trainers, Jamal, out there working the court, getting everything cleaned up here. 30-13 with 7:26, or 30-14, excuse me now, with 7:26 left in the first half. The Cougars have gotten off to a great start, a start that they've needed here to their campaign in non-conference play. They had that big win against Barton to open up the season, and 13-point win against a conference, or against a tournament team in Barton. But they fell victim to Mount Olive the next game. Honestly, a game that they're going to want to have back when they had the lead late. Mount Olive came storming back, won that one in overtime. They bounced back with the win against this Albany State squad on the road. And then another game that they're going to want back, the one against Xavier, Louisiana. Again, the circumstances not really ideal for the Cougars. They got home at 11:30 at night, had to turn around and play an early start against Xavier, Louisiana here at home. And that sleepy start ended up coming back to bite them. So they dropped that one by 2, 66-64. But since then, wins against Tuskegee and West Georgia. That's how they've gotten themselves to 4-2 so far on the season. And this is a team right now that has really dominated their way defensively, which isn't something, again, that we're kind of used to or accustomed to hearing from the Cougars. But right now they're 4th in the entire nation in steals per game at 12. Already averaging 12.0 steals per game. Puts them 4th in the nation. And then obviously correlated to that one, the turnover margin. They're plus 6.7 on the turnover margin, which puts them at 19th or 10th, excuse me, in the entire nation. So again, their defense really getting after it. You can see some of it today. They've already forced 8 turnovers for Albany State. And when these two teams met earlier this season, Golden Rams had 17 turnovers. Oh, they're still wiping up a few of the blood marks on the court. They try to get everything cleaned up. And Young, in the meantime, since he's had a couple minutes here to patch things up, looks like he's okay, and he should be the one coming back out to take the second free throw. Mario Young with 4 points, McClure with 6. Those are the 2 leading scorers for Albany State. Again, still only 3 have scored for CSU. Zay Horton, Stanley Taylor, and Robert Davis Jr. And by the way, those 3 players are combined 12 for 17 from the field. $16-point lead. Anthony Moore with it, bringing it into the front court. Moore has yet to take a single shot in this one. The skip pass. Carl Ivey, who's checked in, misfires on that 3-point attempt. Cougars trying to trap Albany State there, and it's poked away and taken away by CSU. Up ahead to Bryant Givens. Stop, pop from the left wing. Way short on that one. Givens now 0 of 3 from the field. So Givens 0 of 3. Paulding, Ivy, and Preston all 0 for 1. Ivy, pump fake, steps inside. Can't get the mid-range to go down. Driving the lane, Anthony Moore got his hand on that one. A jump ball is going to be called. Snared that one in the air off the drive. And possession error points to CSU. .6:13 and counting left here in this first half. Zay Horton in the corner here for CSU. Horton, Givens, Taylor alongside Moore and Preston just gives that one right to Harris. Young bounces it right back to Moore. Boy, some sloppy play between these two teams, because then CSU's Moore gives it right back to the Golden Rams. Back-to-back turnovers. Ugly play here past few seconds. 11 turnovers now, though, for the Golden Rams. 8 for CSU. Strong drive there by McClure is going to earn him a chance to head to the free throw line. Randy McClure, the senior from Paulding, Georgia, really struggled in that game against Georgia Southwestern the other night. Put up 9 points, 7 rebounds. Obviously off of his season averages there. It's a guy who's been in double digits every single game except the one against Georgia Southwestern the other night. Those 9 points were a season low for McClure, but he's already just about there this afternoon, as he's got 8 now in this one. Horton with it over to Givens. Givens drives. The double comes. They bounce it over to Horton, and another turnover. Taken away. Well read there by Jerome, who flies in for the layup. Just a terrific job done there defensively by Albany State, reading that bounce pass. The Cougars have just been a little bit careless and slow on their passes as Preston forces one up and gets it in. Young driving, double team down low, wild attempt, no good. It's gonna be corralled though by Harris. Up top, Jerome, way short on that three-point attempt. Just a 30% three-point shooter on the year. More into the front court, kick out. Horton's already hit a couple from there. Instead, he lays that one off to Hunter Preston again. The entry into the post was kind there as Preston rolled it home. And Anthony Moore with a takeaway there. Up ahead, it's a 5-on-1. It's Taylor all the way in, and the foul. Tay in the double figures, and the Cougars have their largest lead of the game.
Albany State foul number 4, it's on Mario Young. He is 2.
You could have picked whoever you wanted to pass that one to if you're CSU, a 5-on-1. Taylor, chance to complete the three-point play. This is a guy that's been averaging 8 points a game so far this season. But he's gotten the past 2 starts over Jalen Thomas, whom, by the way, is out yet again with that knee injury. So Thomas isn't dressed out for this one. That's why you haven't seen him yet. But Taylor's been getting the starts, and he's been delivering for CSU. Put up 10 points in their win the other night against West Georgia. Already in the double figures in this one with 11. Season high right now is 14. That was in that overtime loss against Mount Olive. 4 minutes left here in this first half, and the Cougars have doubled up the Golden Rams on the scoreboard. Jumper from high as he deposits that one for Albany State. The Cougars have been using Anthony Moore to bring the ball up before getting into their offense. And that one deflected off the referee. But it will stay here with CSU and take us to our final media timeout of the first half. 16-point Cougar advantage.
As Division II student athletes, we are committed to being our best.
Division II National SAC is proud to partner with the Sports Science Institute to play a role in the cardiac safety and health of student athletes.
Although many student athletes with heart conditions live healthy, active lives, up to 10 NCAA student athletes die each year of sudden cardiac death during athletic activities.
The facts are that immediate delivery of CPR and AED saves lives, so everyone should be CPR and AED trained. Please join us in this important initiative. Make it yours.
Cougars have been missing their senior guard from here in Columbus, Georgia, Jalen Thomas, for the past few games. Hasn't played with that knee injury, a guy that's been averaging just under 9 points a game and one of the starters for CSU. They've been having to make up for it, and their bench has started to deliver in the past few games. Robert Davis Jr. and Hunter Preston coming alive in this one, a combined 11 points off of 5 of 6 shooting from those two. They've accounted for all 11 bench points for CSU. Again, depth always been an issue here for Albany State, as the Cougars have outscored their bench 11-2. CSU needs a strong finish to this first half. Zay Horton had that early 14. He's been quiet since. Zay Horton and the Cougars can't believe that offensive foul, as Horton was just handing it off to Preston and got whistled for the offensive foul. Cougars shooting just under 60% in this first half from the field. It's been a torrid start for CSU. Burns on the bounce. Harrison to the corner. A little bit of a size mismatch there, but a turnover instead. Boy, if you're Camille Brown at 6'7", you've got a chance to post up Givens there. You got 7 inches on him. Instead, he just tried to diagonal pass that one and ends up being a turnover. These are some of the mistakes that, if you're Albany State, some unforced errors that you can and should be limiting to try to get back into this one. Zay Horton, the crossover, kick out. Givens, open look from 3, left it short. Givens just can't find the bottom of the net in this one. He's 0 for 4 from the field. Bounce pass down low, another turnover. Well read there again by CSU. Turnover number 14 of the game. Well, this is only going to help out the Cougars' statistics on the turnovers forced and the turnover margin. As Zay Horton drives in, a little too hard, back iron. Both of these teams scoreless for the past 2 minutes. Maybe we'll get a chance to break that as Albany State's McClure will head to the free throw line. Just second foul on Anthony Moore. McClure, 64% free throw shooter this season. Short on the first. Albany State has done a much better job on the glass compared to the first go-around between these two squads. 14 to 13, the rebounding differential between these two with CSU on top. The problem for them has been the turnovers. 14 turnovers for the Golden Rams in the first half. It's led to some easy buckets for CSU. And they've got some open looks on the offensive end as well. That's why they're shooting 54% from the field. But again, CSU just handing some of these balls right back to the Golden Rams. Some of these passes have been real lackadaisical from CSU. And every time they're throwing it back up top, whether it's to Moore or Givens or Horton, whomever it is, the Golden Rams, they're reading that every single time and just getting a hand on it out front, which is leading to an easy layup on the other end. Got to clean things up here if you're CSU. Top of the key for 3, no good. Old School can't get it to go down. And a foul on Zay Horton. Silly reach in there. It's going to be his second personal. Well, not the finish to the first half that you want to see here if you're a Cougar fan. As High will head to the free throw line, the senior from Americus, Georgia. Just a 33% free throw shooter on the year. High actually played a season high 31 minutes off the bench in that win against Georgia Southwestern on Thursday night. That free throw left it short. Only ended up with 1 point and 1 rebound. Deficit down to 12 for the Golden Rams. It was 18. Here's Chris Horton from the corner. And now the leak out. 3 on none here for Albany State. No one got back for the Cougars, and Coach Moore is going to call a timeout. Another easy lay, and it's an 8-0 run here after Columbus State had opened up their largest lead of the game at 36-18. They've gone scoreless for the past 3:20, and Albany State's responded with an 8-0 run. Well, similar to what happened in the first meeting between these two, Columbus State had opened up the double-digit lead. They had that double-digit lead into the second half. And then Albany State came storming back, eventually cutting it all the way down to a one-possession game before Columbus State responded with a little run of their own to put Albany State away. CSU actually never trailed in that game, by the way. The only time they've trailed in this one was Albany State jumping out to that 2-0 lead. Final minute here of the first half. Robert Davis Jr. is checked back in. They obviously want to preserve Zay Horton from picking up his third personal foul. Down to 12 on the shot clock. Davis Jr. has it, crossover, right to left, drives the lane and gets rejected. Weak side help coming over there for Albany State. And they get the big block and then floating in for the layup on the other end. Lead down to 8. That's Robinson getting the bucket in the paint, his first one of the afternoon. 10-0 run. Cougars have a chance to get the final shot off here in the first half. But an impressive finish here for the Golden Rams, as they've cut it down to single digits. Davis Jr., great find. Old school, can he finally knock one down? Yes, he does. Chris Horton, right before the buzzer, gets one to go down. And the Cougars finally end the big run as Albany State went on a 10-0 run to get it back down to single digits. But a three-pointer there for Chris Horton makes it an 11-point advantage for CSU. 39-28. They got off to a hot start. Albany State crept back into it, but a double-digit lead to the halftime break is where the Columbus State University Cougars will find themselves. We'll take a break ourselves here on Cougar Sports TV. 39-28, CSU up 11 at the half.
Choosing the right college can be a challenge. Does it offer degrees suited to your career goals? Are emerging fields of study more your interest, like cybersecurity, gaming, or environmental science? What about extracurricular activities, such as campus life, study abroad, or honors? Are scholarships and financial assistance available? Columbus State University has always been one of the most affordable colleges in Georgia. Now it's also one of the fastest growing. When you ask the right questions, you'll find out why CSU should be.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% would go pro.
That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
A smile is the best thing you can wear. At Cook Dental Care, we have a smile for you. We believe in creating a dental experience for each patient that demonstrates kindness, professionalism, and knowledgeable service.
También tenemos un equipo bilingüe listo para ayudarle y cuidarle.
Insurance, financing, walk-ins, and new patients are always welcome.
Good morning.
Hi.
How you doing today?
For your family's dental care, visit us at cookdentalcare.com or call 706-689-2905. Again, that number is 706-689-2905. I am Dr. Kathy Cook, and I'm the official dentist of CSU Athletics. At Cook Dental Care, we provide dental dentistry for the entire family.
Dr. Cook,
Yes.
you have a patient in room 3.
Okay, thank you.
I knew that there was an opportunity to have my college paid for if I was good enough to play baseball at that level. That was going to make a big difference in my family. D2 baseball gave me an opportunity to play at a high level and to get an education that's going to be valuable for me throughout the rest of my life. I chose to take my experience of being a student athlete and pursue that within my career and to get a master's degree. If I wouldn't have had a baseball scholarship, there'd be no chance that I'm doing what I'm doing today.
Don't you worry, my child. Everything's gonna be just fine.
fall in love with sports, our universities are working every day to keep college sports safe, so you can watch them play with a little less worry and a little more joy.
As Division II student athletes, we are committed to being our best.
Division II National SAC is proud to partner with the Sports Science Institute to play a role in the cardiac safety and health of student athletes.
Although many student athletes with heart conditions live healthy, active lives, up to 10 NCAA student athletes die each year of sudden cardiac death during athletic activities.
The facts are that immediate delivery of CPR and AED saves lives, so everyone should be CPR and AED trained. Please join us in this important initiative. Make it yours.
It's not about where you were born. It's not about your gender or the color of your skin, or whether you're rich, poor, or in the middle. No matter what you play, if you have the skill and drive to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
These are your teams, your players, your community of fans. This is where they play, where they practice, where you cheer. At every meet, every event, every game. Your community is passionate, dedicated, supportive. You know the tension of a close game and the thrill of the win. So while you're cheering, keep an eye out for anything out of the ordinary. If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Codify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
Because we can. Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Opportunity to me means doing the things that will make you a better future. I always dreamed of graduating from college. So being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed was paying off. Having an athletic scholarship for the University of Mount Olive was key for my success. I had the opportunity to not only get an education, but be able to develop as an individual.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
NCAA Teamworks is how the NCAA, member schools, student athletes, and corporate champions and partners actively engage in outreach efforts where national championships are played. Through initiatives such as NCAA Community 101 service learning projects, disaster relief efforts, youth clinics, backpack and school supply donations, and support of Special Olympics and the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the NCAA and its partners work together to leave a lasting legacy in the community. For more information on NCAA Teamworks, go to ncaa.com/teamworks.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
On and off the court, we're focused on creating lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. More college athletes are earning degrees than ever before, but we've still got work to do. That's why we're raising the bar for incoming freshmen, so they're prepared when they get to campus. And why teams can't play in championships unless they make the grade. Education matters, and putting academics first creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity.
A smile is the best thing you can wear. At Cook Dental Care, we have a smile for you. We believe in creating a dental experience for each patient that demonstrates kindness, professionalism, and knowledgeable service.
También tenemos un equipo bilingüe listo para ayudarle y cuidarle.
Insurance, financing, walk-ins, and new patients are always welcome.
Good morning.
Hi.
How you doing today?
For your family's dental care, visit us at cookdentalcare.com or call 706-689-2905. Again, that number is 706-689-2905. I am Dr. Kathy Cook, and I'm the official dentist of CSU Athletics. At Cook Dental Care, we provide dental dentistry for the entire family.
Dr. Cook,
Yes.
you have a patient in room 3.
Okay, thank you.
While they're focused on success, we're focused on them. Because protecting college athletes doesn't only happen on the field. After the buzzer, it's about healthier student athletes. So we're reforming to meet their needs, investing in groundbreaking research, and changing the conversation around mental health. We're working hard to protect college athletes because prioritizing their well-being creates a pathway to a lifetime of opportunity. Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes, college sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Notify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
Because we can. Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back inside the Lumpkin Center. Second half getting set to get underway here in Columbus, Georgia. Cougars enjoying an 11-point halftime lead. Well, they had a 36-18 lead with just a few minutes remaining in the first half, but Albany State reeled off 10 in a row, cut it down to single digits before Chris Horton hit a three just before the buzzer to extend it back up to an 11-point advantage. Cougars shot 50% from the field in that first half, 16 of 32, including 5 made threes. It was Zay Horton and Stanley Taylor leading the way, each with 5 made field goals. Horton with 14, Taylor with 11. On the flip side, Randy McClure, the only one in double figures for Albany State. He's got 11 points on 4 of 4 shooting. Well, for Albany State, if they want to get back into this, they've got to clean things up. 14 turnovers for the Golden Rams, as they just could not take care of the ball, although you could say something pretty similar for the Cougars. And they start things off with a turnover and a jam for Albany State's McClure. Columbus State not clean with the ball whatsoever in that first half, as they had 12 turnovers themselves. And that turnover right there makes it 13 now on the afternoon. So sloppy play from both of these teams. One, it's what's allowed Columbus State to get their lead, but it's also allowed Albany State to stay within striking distance. Taylor's had one of the hot hands, though, for CSU. He's got 13 now on 6 of 8 shooting, just one shy of his season high. Young drives all the way in. Too easy there, but at the last second, Zay Horton looked like he might have gotten a piece of that one. And another turnover, a late pass there from Brian Givens. Albany State has been reading them like a book all afternoon on some of these passes. There's a pass inside to McClure. Leads the team in points per game, 14.5. And he's already surpassed that. He's got 15 this afternoon. See if the Cougars can work the ball around. Here's an open look from distance. Givens still can't hit one. 0 of 5 now from the field. He does have 4 assists. But his looks, for the most part, he's gotten some open looks from distance. It's 0 of 4 from behind the arc, though. And he came into this game shooting 44% from the field. There he is, driving, floating, can't get it. Still cannot buy a bucket. Here's Taylor on the takeaway. They're going to leave him all alone. Tay. Rainbow jumper won't go down, but the Cougars maintain possession. Coach Moore tells him to set things back up. Here's Zay Horton flying in there. The tip back off the rim, no good. Taylor fighting for the rebound, but Albany State is going to come away with it. At one point late in the first half, we had just 3 scorers for CSU. It was Taylor, Horton, and Robert Davis Jr. Since then, though, Chris Horton and Hunter Preston have gotten on the board. Other than that, no one else has scored for CSU. Anthony Moore hasn't even attempted a shot. Cam Paulding's 0 of 2. Bryant Gibbons is 0 of 6. And right on cue, they're going to bring Robert Davis Jr. into the game for Gibbons. Gibbons 0 of 6 from the field, 4 turnovers. And Davis Jr. is going to come up with the steal as the ball goes right to him on that bad pass. Over to Anthony Moore, his first shot attempt of the afternoon. Barely hit the backboard there. Just needs to get a few more shots up. Get into a little bit of a rhythm. Anthony Moore has been a hound defensively, though. He's already come up with 6 steals. It's a new season high for any Cougar. Taylor, Davis Jr. back to Taylor. They're going to leave him open. He'll take it. His second made three-pointer of the afternoon. He leads all scorers with 16. By the way, Taylor's career high is 18. Happened last season against Clayton State. He's got a chance to surpass that this afternoon. He leaks out. Robert Davis Jr. finally finds him up ahead. He gets rejected at the rim. What a block, and falling down hard on his backside. It looked like that was Camille Brown. They're going to bring the trainer on out there. Taylor had no idea he was behind him. Came up with a monster block there as he waves the trainer off, says he's all right. That was a big-time block down low by the 6'7" senior. (44-32), Horton to inbound. Taylor can't quite corral it. It's going to go off CSU. Another turnover. Turnover number 15 now in the game. Well, they had 20 turnovers against Albany State in their last game when these two squared off back in the middle of November. Didn't come back to hurt CSU in the end, so they came away with a 12-point win. Here they are again on pace for 20-plus turnovers. They've got 15 already, yet they're up by 12. The drive, a wild attempt there from Jerome. Robert Davis Jr. with it for the Cougars. All the way over to Zay Horton. Horton well defended there. Mario Young just got a little too close to him. Didn't let him land. It's going to be whistled for the foul. But we'll have Horton free throws coming out of the break. 15:34 left in this one. It's a 12-point Cougar lead.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Codify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
because we can.
Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
From court to court and lane to lane under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
Stanley Taylor's come to play here for the Cougars in this one. 16 points on the afternoon. He's hit a couple threes, 7-11 from the field to go along with 3 boards in his 20 minutes of action. A new season high for the senior from Petersburg, Virginia. He's a Great transfer for CSU last season. Played in all 29 games for the Cougars, averaging 9 points and 4 boards. Staple inside of the lineup here this year for the Cougars as well. 46-32. Cougars on top by 14, 15 and a half left in this one. And the Cougars are going to go to a zone defense here. They bounce and swing that ball all the way around. It gets an open look from 3. Burns way off the mark, though. The putback and the harm. McClure, the one guy that CSU cannot stop right now. He's got 17. And he's perfect from the field. Perfect 7 of 7 from the field. What an afternoon he's having. His career high came this season. 20 points he put up against Spring Hill. Got a couple players inching towards some new career highs in this one. Robert Davis Jr. spins past his defender. Great ball movement there for CSU. It gets an open look. Horton can't connect though. And up ahead, off the rim goes Robinson, but another putback. Guess who's there again? It's McClure. He's been there all afternoon on these putbacks. Ten-point advantage, 46-36. Anthony Moore over to Robert Davis Jr. Can he connect on a 3 ball? He can. His first 3-pointer of the afternoon. He's in the double figures now. 3rd Cougar in the double digits. Davis Jr. now with 10. Robert Davis Jr., the transfer from East Mississippi Community College. He put up a career-high 33 points against Northwest Mississippi last season for them. And he'd been struggling as of late. He only put up 5 total points in his last 4 games. In fact, all 5 of those came in the last game against West Georgia, although he did hit those 2 clinching free throws for the Cougars. The free throws in the final seconds that gave CSU a 2-possession lead, allowing them to come away with a win against West Georgia. $16 turnovers for Albany State. These two teams are kind of going back and forth. Who's going to finish with more turnovers? 17 turnovers, excuse me, for Albany State. They've got 17. The Cougars have 15. Moore, skip pass. Robert Davis Jr., he wants another one. Off the back rim, no good. Look at Anthony Moore fighting for the offensive rebound and gets it to go. His first bucket of the game. Anthony Moore on the scoreboard. He has 4 boards, 4 assists, 6 steals, and finally, 2 points. Been averaging just under 13 points per game. Cougars now starting to get some scoring from some other players other than the 3 that had been leading the way for CSU. Look at Anthony Moore all the way in. No good on the layup attempt, but he draws the foul. We'll head to the free throw line. Robinson thought he had good positioning, may have just been inside the circle there. And yeah, he had 2 feet inside the circle, wasn't quite able to get outside of it. Easy call to make for the referee. 2 free throws here for Moore. Moore, a 53% free throw shooter this year. Way short on the first one. Cougars have, as a team, they've only attempted 6 free throws this afternoon. 4 of 6 from the line. Haven't needed it though. 7 3-pointers for the Cougars, 0 for Albany State. It's been a big difference maker in this one. When you look at a 12-point lead, 7-0 on the 3-point line, makes all the difference there. (52-40), 12-point Cougar advantage. Here's Brown driving all the way in, lost it as he went up, but a reach-in foul will be called on the Cougars. Camille Brown, he's had a quiet afternoon here. Only 4 points. 1 of 3 from the field, and he's, unfortunately for Brown, he's been the one who's been getting charged with most of these turnovers. 7 turnovers for Camille Brown in this one. He actually did earlier this season surpass the 7 turnovers. He had 8 turnovers against Palm Beach Atlantic. Part of that tough 2-point loss against Palm Beach Atlantic for Albany State. It was back on November 30th. Had some close losses this season, also some close wins. Team that just kind of hangs around, as they've been doing here. What a spin move there by Anthony Moore. Maybe he'll start to be a little more assertive with his shot in this second half. McClure, who's perfect from the field. They're trying to feed him down low. Instead, it's a skip pass to the corner. Down to 7 on the shot clock. Well defended here by the Cougars. Down to 3. Brown's going to have to force it up, and he gets it to drop. Good defense. Better finish there. Moore over to Robert Davis Jr. He drives inside the lane, up and under. Davis Jr. 12 points now for the transfer. Hanging in the air there for CSU. This ties his season high when he put up 12 points off the bench against Barton in the season opener. And it's Jerome who responds. So these two teams trading buckets back and forth. As we approach the halfway point of this second half, here comes Anthony Moore. Skies up. A late whistle. And they're going to rule it on an offensive foul on Anthony Moore. Well, that should take us to a media timeout here on the court. 10:20 left, 11-point Cougar advantage. You're watching Cougar Sports TV.
It's more than a whistle or a call. We're committed to giving college athletes a fair shot, on and off the field. Covering the full cost of attendance, because college costs go beyond tuition. Keeping dreams on track, regardless of performance or injury. And creating equal opportunities and inclusive environments. It's about respecting college athletes and prioritizing fairness to build a pathway to lifelong opportunity.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experiences possible.
So Anthony Moore is starting to heat up here for the Cougars. A couple of buckets for him, including that spinning floater in the lane. 5 points to go along with 6 steals, 4 boards, and 4 assists. 3 double figures for the Cougars. It's Taylor and Horton leading the way, 16 apiece. They've been hanging on to this double-digit lead. It's been hovering right around 10, 11 points for most of this second half. Here's high off a screen. Bouncing it down low, and the double team came. McClure, he's perfect. Not anymore. Finally misses a field goal. Preston up ahead, the leak out. Zay Horton cocked it back and got fouled hard there at the rim. That's a good, tough foul there by Jerome. Didn't want to give up the easy dunk. I don't think anything malicious was there. The referees convene. They say just common foul, 2 free throws. It's a good, tough foul there. Don't want to give up the easy dunk if you're Albany State. But Zay Horton will head to the free throw line. We were ready for a highlight dunk. He's already had a couple this year. Couple free throws go down, though, as Horton now has 18 in this one. (58-45). Back up to a 13-point lead. Here's high up top over to Jerome. Cougars employing that zone defense again, coming out of the timeout. Last time around, Albany State got a couple of wide open looks from the corner. Instead, it's another leak out for Zay Horton. This time he throws it down. The rebounds have been coming for the Cougars, and the leak outs have been there as Zay Horton makes the Golden Rams pay. He was ready for that one that time around. No Albany State player was going to catch up to him. Oh, he tried to leak out again. When they play this 1-3-1 zone defense, it gives Zay Horton the chance for some of those leak outs.
Albany State foul on number 20, Ranky McClure against 2. It's the Rams' 5th foul as a team.
5th team foul. By the way, the Cougars only with 3 team fouls past the midway point here in the second half. It's been a clean second half for them in the foul department. Down low, great positioning there for Preston. Easy hook shot. Got the positioning that he needed. And the Cougars lead back up to 17. Skip pass over to Jerome. Cougars almost force another turnover. The ball's still loose, up for grabs. It is going to be CSU ball. Turnover number 18 now. Albany State starting to fall apart here in this second half. It's a 6-0 Cougar run. Devin Porter Wilson has checked into the game. Preston wants to go back to that shot. He was just a little further out this time. Cougars get the offensive board, and Devin Porter Wilson knocks down the jumper. 2-point jumper for DP, his first field goal of the game. Well, this is more like it if you're the Cougars. Lead up to 19, hanging and getting that one to go down. It's another good move by Mario Young. That's a couple times now that we've seen Mario Young get into traffic and be able to float it up and in. He's a fun player to watch out there for the Golden Rams. Timeout on the floor, 64-47.
Label me.
You know you want to.
Don't be shy.
You do it behind my back.
Say it to my face.
You don't know me.
You know what I am?
I'm a pitcher.
I'm a striker.
I'm a point guard.
I'm a linebacker.
I'm a setter. Shortstop. High jumper.
Wrestler.
Defender.
Goalie.
Student.
Student athletes.
That's who we are.
As Division II student athletes, we are committed to being our best.
Division II National SAC is proud to partner with the Sports Science Institute to play a role in the cardiac safety and health of student athletes.
Although many student athletes with heart conditions live healthy, active lives, up to 10 NCAA student athletes die each year of sudden cardiac death during athletic activities.
The facts are that immediate delivery of CPR and AED saves lives, so everyone should be CPR and AED trained. Please join us in this important initiative. Make it yours.
Cougars 6 for their last 7 from the field. They've extended the lead back up to 17, 64-47, with 7:40 left in this one. McClure and Horton trading who's got the lead for most points in the game. McClure with 21, Horton with 20. And going back and forth. Here's Old School, corner 3 off the mark. And here comes Young. We know Young can finish amongst the trees. There he goes again, all the way to the hoop. Oh, he missed the layup. The offensive putback, though, by McClure. He's going to be fouled. 3 Cougars were there, couldn't get the rebound. Young can't believe he missed the layup. McClure has done it all for Albany State in this one. 21 points, 9 of 10 from the field, by the way, with 8 boards and 4 steals. The 9 of 10 from the field, you might say, wow, what a night. It's as impressive as it gets, and sure, yeah, it is extremely impressive, but this is kind of the norm for him. McClure ranks 17th in the entire nation in field goal percentage coming into this game at 66%, and now that's only going to go up. 66% shooting for a guy who leads the entire nation in minutes played. 66% from the field is astounding, and here he is today, 9 of 10. DP, the fadeaway. Same spot as he made the last one. Here's Mario Young, picked up by Horton. Brown into the corner. It's high, drives in, 3 Cougars converge. Do they call the travel? They do. Looked like steps. It was eventually called. Another turnover. Turnover number 19 now for Albany State. This Cougar team forces their opponents into 18 turnovers per game. That's 17th best in the entire nation. They're right back at it yet again. So they're on pace to put Albany State into the 20s in turnovers. Another great defensive effort from CSU. Givens probing, Old School, corner 3, buckets. Chris Horton, his second three-pointer of the game. He's got 6. It's the largest lead now of the game. It's at 20 for CSU. Brown trying to answer, can't get it. Ball's going to fall right to McClure, and another lay-in. There's the pass to Old School in the corner. He dumps it down low. What a feed! Chris Horton to Hunter Preston. Little pump fake, and then the rocket pass down low. They try to skip pass. Oh, Devin Porter-Wilson almost had that one. It was off to the races instead. A jumper for Albany State and a timeout on the floor. We'll take a break as well. 71-53, Cougars on top.
Choosing the right college can be a challenge. Does it offer degrees suited to your career goals? Are emerging fields of study more your interest, like cybersecurity, gaming, or environmental science? What about extracurricular activities, such as campus life, study abroad, or honors? Are scholarships and financial assistance available? Columbus State University has always been one of the most affordable colleges in Georgia. Now it's also one of the fastest growing. When you ask the right questions, you'll find out why CSU should be.
There are over 480,000 college athletes
only 2% would go pro. That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
Well, just when Albany State was trying to get back into it, the Cougars go on a big run. They've made 3 of their last 4 from the field, and they've extended the advantage out to 18, 71-53. A win here for CSU. If they can hang on to this lead, would put them at 5-2 on the season. Give them one more game against Tuskegee before they open up conference play. They'll open up conference play on the road, by the way, at USC Aiken, coming up on December 18th. Still got time left in this one, though. Long ways to go. 5 minutes to play. As Givens is going to turn the ball over. That's going to be his 5th turnover of the game, and this is an afternoon to forget if you're Bryant Givens. 5 turnovers, no points. He's 0 of 7 from the field. Has been on pace, though, with his assists. 6 assists. One of the leaders inside the PBC, 4th in the PBC in assists per game. Averaging 5.3. As Young floats it up and in again. Mario Young now with 9. Second leading scorer behind McClure, who's got 24. Horton and Givens with Ivy, DP, and Hunter Preston. The 5 out there for CSU. So Zay Horton getting a breather on the bench. We'll see if his afternoon is done. He's got 20 points, 6 of 10 from the field. He's what got CSU their lead in the early goings, hitting a couple of threes and putting in work down low. 20 points and 5 boards for the senior. Up and in goes Brown. It's a 6-0 run here for Albany State in the last minute and a half. And on that note, they're going to bring Taylor and Paulding along with Horton back into the game. So starters coming right back in here for CSU as Ivy takes a 3. Preston. Hunter Preston has been doing a great job down low. He's coming off his best game of the season. 6 points and 4 boards against West Georgia. Make it a new best game of the year. 10 points and 5 boards this afternoon. He's been grabbing some offensive boards and getting some of those putbacks down low. Hunter Preston doing work, and that's exactly what Coach Moore has been wanting out of Preston, being more aggressive. 73-57.
A smile is the best thing you can wear. At Cook Dental Care, we have a smile for you. We believe in creating a dental experience for each patient that demonstrates kindness, professionalism, and knowledgeable service.
También tenemos un equipo bilingüe listo para ayudarle y cuidarle.
Insurance, financing, walk-ins, and new patients are always welcome.
Good morning.
Hi.
How you doing today?
For your family's dental care, visit us at cookdentalcare.com or call 706-689-2905. Again, that number is 706-689-2905. I am Dr. Kathy Cook, and I'm the official dentist of CSU Athletics. At Cook Dental Care, we provide dental dentistry for the entire family.
Dr. Cook?
Yes.
You have a patient in room 3.
Okay, thank you.
16-point lead here for the Cougars as they try to finish off the Golden Rams. It's been a fun one here inside the Lumpkin Center on this Saturday afternoon. Love these early starts. Little noon start so you can get home to watch your SEC championship game for all those either Georgia or LSU fans in the area. It's Championship Saturday on the football field. Got a whole bunch of championship games happening out there this afternoon and evening. Starters out there for the Cougars, except Chris Horton, who's in there right now for CSU. Taylor with the jumper there. Gives himself 18 points now. Ties his career high here at CSU. Deep three taken as Brown knocks it down. His first three-pointer and Albany State's first three of the game. They haven't hit a three all game long, and they finally get one to go down, and the Cougars turn it over, and it allows Albany State to jam at home. What was a 20-point lead has now turned into an 11-point lead for CSU. Albany State's hit 7 of their last 8 from the field. And they cut it down to 11. 28 points for Randy McClure, a new career high for the senior from Paulding, Georgia. He's 12 of 13 from the field, and he's got a double-double, 28 and 10. His second double-double of the season. Cougars just trying to put the finishing touches on this one. 18 turnovers for CSU, 19 of them for Albany State. .210 remaining, and now all 5 starters out there as Anthony Moore is checked back in for CSU. Given still looking for his first bucket, his first point of the afternoon. He's got it right now. 6 on the shot clock. He drives in, kick out, Tay, corner 3, splash. Woo, he's on fire here this afternoon. A new career high for Stanley Taylor. Uh-oh, look out below. Oh, Taylor lost the dribble. We were about to have a throwdown by Tay, and he lost the dribble going in for the breakaway dunk. Anthony Moore instead going coast to coast for CSU. That one is going to haunt Taylor's dreams. Can't wait to ask him about it in the postgame. But big shout out to Taylor, who has a new career high in this one with 21 points. And now the Cougars will milk some clock. 14-point advantage, final minute in this one, as CSU is about to improve to 5-2 on the season. It's a great performance here by the Cougars, and you really got to credit their defense. They forced 20 Albany State turnovers in this one. They got after it defensively. Came up with 11 steals off of those 20 turnovers. Young with the layup, and that should just about do it here as the Cougars can milk the final seconds off the clock in this one. Crowd on their feet here inside the Lumpkin Center for the Cougars. An impressive effort. They come away with an 80-68 win over Albany State. They improved to 5-2 on the season. Albany State drops to 4-7. One more non-conference game to go. Make sure you join the Cougars on the road as they'll take on Tuskegee on December 11th. That's this upcoming week in a non-conference game, looking to sweep the season series against Tuskegee as they did against Albany State. That will be their next game. They'll be on the road against USC Aiken to open up conference play on the 18th, and they won't be back inside the Lumpkin Center until December 21st for their conference opener, home opener here in the Lumpkin Center. For everyone here at CSU, for our cameraman, our statistician, our producer, I'm Corey Aldis. The Cougars come away with a dominating 80-68 win over Albany State. We'll see y'all next time on Cougar Sports TV.